Hello everyone, and welcome to Athletic Avenue. On our jock journey today, we'll take a path at the similarities and differences of LeBron James the King and his prince, Bronny James Jr. So, hit that like button, share, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and let's begin our sports timeline journey. Any loyal fan would weep at even the thought of LeBron's retirement from the NBA. But like it or not, we all have to accept that every kingship has an end. Luckily, King James had decided to grace the world with a successor who seems to be shaping up to replace the NBA All-Star legend, none other than his eldest son, Bronny James Jr. But how exactly does the rising star compare to his old man when he was at his age? Before we actually start analyzing Bronny's moves, skills, and stats on the court, let's first consider the basics. Physically speaking, Bronny's height is 6'2", which already makes him a pretty tall kid for a young age of 15 or 16, considering that kids his age would only average about 5'5". But his height would still be 3 inches short compared to his father, who stood at 6'5" when he was 15. Be that as it may, a good height of 6 feet and above would already play well with their chances in becoming a successful NBA athlete. So height and athletic prowess, that's all LeBron. But Bronny's natural good looks, that's all his mom, Savannah James. In fact, if you pause the video right now and Google the family picture, you'd find that he has some of his mom's most distinct facial features. We're not saying LeBron isn't handsome, but when it comes to genetics, it's good to get an equal 50-50 mix. So for Bronny, aside from already being an heir to his parents' enormous wealth, he also gets to inherit the best of their genes. Now that's what we call winning in life. Now what about Bronny's track record? Well, at a young age, he's already become pretty invested in sports except for football or hockey, which LeBron says could result in injuries detrimental to Bronny's health. The father's protective nature seems to have paid off because soon enough, Bronny was on his way to making his own name in the sport of basketball. In 2014, Bronny starred in the basketball highlight reels, which earned him his first mainstream media exposure. 4 years later, the middle school team of Old Trail School in Ohio, which was led by Bronny, won the Independent School League tournament. The victory merited him several invitations to play for a myriad of teams in the Amateur Athletic Union, or AAU. At 9 years old, Bronny played for the Miami City Ballers, catching the attention of the head coach of the Kentucky Wildcats, John Calipari. After that, he went on to lead the Gulf Coast Blue Chips AAU team, which won the Hype Sports Summer Jam in the year 2015. For Bronny's amateur league career, he led the North Coast Blue Chips to victory in the John Lucas All-Star Weekend title in March of 2018. He then led the same team to win the NY2 LA Swish and Dish tournament in April of that same year, which all culminated to the team's undefeated title for that season. Because of that, Bronny was able to represent the team in the Midwest Championships of the Junior NBA that June. He was already doing so well at such a young age that the head coach of the Ohio State Buckeyes, Thad Matta, wished he could already recruit young Bronny. Soon enough, the name Bronny James was quickly getting wind in the sports media. And when he participated in the Under-16 Nike Elite Youth Basketball League and joined the AAU team Strive for Greatness, he started to really get the attention of several scouts. Soon after, he joined the Crossroads School in California, where he was able to score 27 points against the Culver Middle School in December of 2018. Obviously, with all the attention he was getting because of his sustained success, one could only assume that it would just get bigger once he starts his high school career. On May 29th of 2019, the young basketball star was enrolled in the Sierra Canyon School in Los Angeles. That is for his freshman high school year. Zaire Wade, son of NBA All-Star Dwayne Wade, who was an incoming senior at that time, also transferred to the school. Meanwhile, B.J. Boston and Zaire Williams, who were 5-star recruits, also transferred to Sierra Canyon School after a few months. The team was considered to be the best high school team of the season. As a matter of fact, the hype for the young players were so much that ESPN even aired 15 of their games on national television. Bronny then made his debut in November of 2019, where his team won against Montgomery High School. And in December that year, he was given the title of Most Valuable Player in a game against his father's alma mater, St. Vincent St. Mary High School. For his first year, he averaged 4.1 points and started in all 34 games that season. So that was for Bronny. But how did his old man do when he was in high school? Well, at the age of 15, LeBron's alma mater, St. Vincent St. Mary High School, saw his potential and recruited him into their basketball team, averaging 21 points and 6 rebounds per game. His team, the Fighting Irish, won a perfect 27-0 game, which launched the team to win the state championship and become the only boys' high school team that finished the season undefeated. As a sophomore, LeBron's team once again won the state championship with a 26-1 victory. Because of this, he was given the title of Ohio Mr. Basketball and was also selected for the USA Today All-USA First Team. We think it's important to note here that LeBron James was the first sophomore to achieve both titles. Soon, he was featured in the American basketball magazine Slam, appeared on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and then was named Gatorade National Player of the Year. At the end of his junior year, his success gave him the vision to pursue basketball as a career and become a pro. Finally, in his last year, he was able to average 31.6 points per game, which gave his team, the Fighting Irish, their third title and earned them the top national ranking. Needless to say, LeBron was pretty much a rising star himself when he was in high school, despite some controversies. Some of his fans and scouts were already quick to make the assumption that LeBron would become a big hit in the world of the NBA, which is why a lot of people who are tracking the progress of his son Bronny are also anticipating the same future. In truth, if you parallel the achievements of both father and son, you'd see that there are some unquestionable patterns in terms of success and rise in notoriety. Overall, it's still too early to tell whether or not Bronny would live up to the expectations of a lot of people. But regardless of that, several agents are already seeing the fruit of Bronny's training. Even Daniels, director of basketball recruiting, says, "What Bronny impresses the most is his feel for the game, vision, and passing." He also expresses that as a basketball player, he's an impressive shooter with good shot mechanics, something that even a lot of critics say he is better at than his own father. He ends the statement saying that the success that people are anticipating him to achieve would lie largely on his physical and skill growth. And with that said, give us a like, share, and subscription so we can grow and give you more material on the path through Athletic Avenue. Ring the notification bell and leave your comments below about the awesome father and son, king and prince of basketball.